Hi my loves, how are you guys doing today? And I just wanted to say happy first day of spring, child. It's not like very springy outside, it's somewhat cold, but just the fact that it's spring, it does a lot for the brain. This video is gonna be me telling you guys how I saved $20,000 in 8 months. Yes, child, it can be done, okay? And basically, it depends on the job that you do. Understand? Because I might say, okay, save 20,000 in 8 months, but for you it can be impossible. But the fact is that saving is saving. This video is gonna let you know how you can do certain things, how you can train your mind to start thinking, you understand, in the terms of success and bettering yourself. Let me just let you guys know, give you a rundown. All right, so basically I was a spendthrift. I didn't want to admit it to myself, but I was a spendthrift. The first thing for change, if you want to change, you have to identify that you have a problem. And a lot of us go around, that's why we can't have our breakthrough, is because we are too proud. We are too scared to admit that, okay, I have a problem. Is it a crime? Hell no. And from you start thinking that it's not a crime to have a problem, then you're well on your way to start doing what you're supposed to do or accomplish what you want to accomplish. When I started to admit that I had a problem, I had to go deep down, because at the end of the day, I'm doing it for myself. I need to be better. And being a spendthrift, let me just touch on this. Being a spendthrift doesn't mean that you are poor. A lot of people that are loaded are spendthrifts, because you can have a lot of money, but you spend, because money doesn't make you happy. For me, I feel as if, like, where it started, I wasn't broke, but I wasn't rich. I wasn't in the career that I'm in right now to say that I can just blow $1,500 on a purse. I wasn't there, and I wasn't supposed to be doing that. But let me just let you know where it started. My spendthrift started on being a spendthrift started being on YouTube, because I used to make beauty videos and stuff like that. And then people that started off with me, I started seeing them start making money, because their channel was growing, mine wasn't growing, but I didn't know the art of it. So because their channel was growing, they would get money monthly from AdSense and so on, so they can try to get certain things that they were getting. But for me, little old me, I had no idea that's how it worked. So they were getting money monthly. Basically, their channel started to grow, get bigger, and started get more dough. And they used to buy designer stuffs and everything, and the subscribers started to go up. And I started to think to myself that, okay, probably I can do that, because we started off the same time, and in order for my subscribers to go up, let me start buying designer things too. I wouldn't buy lower end designers like Michael Kors, even though Michael Kors are nice, I like Michael Kors too. But I would talk about fashion house design. I would buy Chanel. Nobody, as I said, in a certain that's not in a career field, or just a regular person that is trying to be something, should be taking up $5,000 or $4,000 to buy a Chanel bag. Nobody buy a Chanel bag. I would buy Louis Vuitton, even though Louis Vuitton is it depends on which one you buy. But I used to spend sometimes $1,200, $1,500 and everything to buy Louis Vuitton bag. Of course you can save for it, but for me, I started to have an addiction. And then I realized that my channel wasn't growing still. So I started to look into myself. Am I doing it for me? Because I love the bag. Of course I love Louis Vuitton. That's one of my favorite. I used to buy Gucci also. Or am I doing it to please people, to create content? Because that is a very hefty price to pay if you're just doing videos, or because people are gonna like it. You're trying to do content. That's a hefty, because you can do other things to have content on your page other than buying such a hefty price bag. And I started to realize that no, I wasn't doing it for me. I love the bag, but if I could change those decisions, that's why they say the past is supposed to let you grow. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is supposed to be stuck at one level in the past. Something is wrong if you are stuck in the past and can't like excel in something that you do, something is wrong. You have to realize where that problem is, and that's what I did. And when I started to pinpoint the problem, that's when change come. I pray to God daily that I can't live like that, because it's either I would be bankrupt or I couldn't be able to afford whatever I wanted. You understand? So this is what I started to do. Prayer, that's the number one thing. I started to daily, little by little, change my mind frame, because everything starts in the mind. The mind frame. If you have an effed up mind frame, you're not going to reach anywhere. Because a lot of us are grown, but we have the mind frame of a toddler. I started to change my mind frame. The first thing I did was starting to budget. What I would do when I get my pay, as I said, it depends on the job, because some people, they're doing minimum wage job, and that is fine. For me, I'm not better than anybody, because as I said before, I didn't what I didn't say before, but some of you probably don't know, I didn't have my papers. Some people didn't want to hire me. Boo would of course help me, but sometimes when I had a budget, I would blow it, right? So I'm not better than none of y'all, okay? What I did that worked for me, if you can save the amount that I save, saving is saving. Every week you put down something, whether it's $50. At the end of the year, it adds up. I would put down at least $500 or $600 a week. And if you can't put down that amount, or if you put down less, don't beat yourself up. The fact is that you are putting it there. The next thing that I would do, I wouldn't starve myself. You understand what I'm saying? It depends on your budget again and how much you're working. I wouldn't starve myself all because, catch up for all the spending that, I did recklessly all these years. No, because slow and steady, but make sure you save a substantial amount after you take out, whether your rent or food or utilities. Make sure you save something, even if it's $50. It will thank you at the end of the year. Okay, I would have different accounts. I would have one that I don't touch, I can't touch it, fixed deposit in a way. Yeah, so I put it there, accumulate it, and don't touch it. I would have another account, like let's just say if I want to go on vacation, or if it's spending money or whatever, it's different. Look around you and see things that are not needed, because a lot of times we accumulate a lot of stuff, and we don't really need them, and it can be very beneficial to somebody else, and probably you're not going to get back the same amount that you paid for it. That's the reason why I said, before you buy something, really think about the value and how much you're going to lose if you have to sell it back, because you're not going to get back the same amount for it. But guess what happened? If you are trying to be on the road to success, whether you get back the amount that you spent or not, the fact is that you're getting back something. You have to start thinking like that. So for in the future, if you're going to buy something, you're going to be thinking like, if I want to resell it, am I, is it the right choice? So you have to think that. For me, I have like a lot of luxury bags, and at first I started to think about like selling back some in order to accumulate some of the money, but then my mother said no. She said she don't believe in those things. She said she believe in blessings, and she believe in working for more, and I shouldn't have to sell back some of my designer bags in order to save. So I didn't have to sell back any of my designer, whether Louis Vuitton or whatever. The only thing I sold was my Chanel, because that bag was too freaking expensive for a person that wasn't in field child. It wasn't, so I had to sell that bag. But for probably like the Louis Vuitton that is like 15, 17, 1200 and everything, I didn't sell it back. So you can do that. Everybody is different. If you feel as if your financial situation is crucial, is brutal, do what you gotta do. Sell what you gotta sell, okay? If you feel as if like, you used to go to the movies every week, or, you used to go what should I say, like go out to dinners and everything, of course you can do that, but you're gonna have to cut down on it. Try to cook for your damn self. Try to figure out how to cook, because those dinners, everything adds up. It adds up at the end of the day. So just try to work on that part. Is the amount of money you will save. Trust me, I'm a cook, you understand? I really go to restaurants because I'm always throwing it down in the kitchen, so I don't have any problem with saving. You know, when it comes to, you know, like restaurants and everything, sometimes, you know, me and the boo will go out and we go to a nice restaurant and everything, but it's not like, you know, how some people every week they go to a restaurant. You know, hell no, I don't do that. I don't have time for that. I can cook, and most of the times when you're cooking at your own home, you know how it's prepared, and it's better for you health wise than what you get in the restaurant. So think about that. You know, you can save a ton of money like that. When you're in a situation that you're finding yourself like being broke, pride has to go through the door, child. Pride is not into this anymore. It has to go through the door. All right, let me just show you guys something. The mind frame. You have to be diligent about what you want. All right, it reached a point. I'm not going to say that I don't have the addiction anymore, but in any addiction, because there are different types of addiction, child, you are going to have your moments when you want to relapse. Like me today, it's spring. I feel like, oh my gosh, so springy, you know, excited, and I feel as if like I wanted to go and buy a $2,000 bag. But something in the back of my mind said, "Girl, what you do? Girl, what you do? Slow the hell down. You don't want to go back in that path." Because once, sometimes when you slip, it messes you up. It's like you go back into that cycle again, and that's what I didn't want, because I prayed too hard about that. All right, so I've been carrying this is like my little pouch that sometimes I carry with me. And I had like, I don't really like to show money on camera, but I'm just going to show you guys just for the video's sake. I've been carrying around $107 with me. Let me show you. One, so you know that I'm not lying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 107. I've been carrying around it with me for 4 weeks. Didn't touch it. It's all in the mind. I do these things to show myself that, listen, it can be done. I have self-discipline. I have discipline in the mental. And that's what I did to prove it to myself. You know, of course, I would have to spend lunch money differently. But to say that I'm going to, because it's in my reach right now, I would be like, okay, let me just take it out and then blow it, like probably back then. No, I'm not at that level anymore. And as I'm trying to tell you that you can do it also. Another thing, you have to think about the future, because guess what happened? You can't be like the Jones. I was like the Jones, trying to be like the Jones. But where did it get me? It didn't really get me anywhere. It slowed me down. Because what I should be thinking about, you should be thinking of anybody. You can't be thinking like a child anymore when you're a certain age. Anybody that's mature will start thinking about the future. Whether you want kids, whether you want a car, whether you want a house. Those are the most important things right now. Bags are beautiful. Of course, you can always sell back the bag. Because I would buy a bag like for $1,500 from Louis Vuitton, because I love Louis Vuitton. But at the end of the day, if I sell it back, it keeps its value. It keeps its value. But if I sell it back, I would get sometimes like $1,200, $1,100 for that same $1,500 bag. I can't go into Louis Vuitton and be like, oh, let me owe you $400. You understand what I'm saying? Because I don't get back all of my money. I get back majority, but not all. So I started to think like that. That, listen, if I'm short of money, I can't go to the store. So why am I going to short myself by buying it and selling it and not getting back the same money for it? So that's another mind thing that I always do. I also write in, like, whether you know you have a journal or sometimes I write in my phone, don't do this. You understand? Don't do this. This is what you're not supposed to do today. You understand what I'm saying? Those things inspire you. It depends on how you want to do that, but that's just what I did. Another thing that what I did, I also got a car. You understand? I got an Audi. I love pretty cars and everything. I got an Audi. If I was spending the way that I was spending before, child, I wouldn't be able to afford that. You understand what I'm saying? I wouldn't be able to afford that. And I did that by being disciplined, by changing my mind frame. If I was associated with people that, you know, I realized that, you know, they could afford it, and at the same time I was following them, or they were trying to inveigle me into certain things, you got to cut people like those loose, because they have what you're already trying to have. Or let's just say if they're trying to inspire you, then you stick around people like those, or trying to uplift you, stick around people like those. But for people always telling you, let me go shopping with you, and then let you feel embarrassed because you can't spend the thousands of dollars like how they spend and everything, drop them. You understand what I'm saying? Drop them, because at the end of the day, they're trying to put you into certain, you know, even though people can tell you, you know, make you do things that you don't want to do, but they always say, show me your company and tell me who you are. There comes a time that you're going to want to be like them to keep up with the Jones. And that's the thing that you should never do. You understand what I'm saying? Another thing that I would always do, I would treat myself. You understand? Let's just say I accumulate like $2,400 for the month. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you know, in savings. I would treat myself to be like, oh my God, I did so good. I did so good. So you treat yourself so you don't feel deprived. Okay? So that's how I would like do it, and everything is very, very simple. It's not the whole world. That's just the thing. I pray about it and I just started to think one day that, listen, what do I want out of life? Do I want the best? Do I want the things that are important? Or am I trying to get status? You understand what I'm saying? And I want the former. I want the important things. You understand? I want to go on vacation and don't have to feel for money. Oh my God, I don't have any money because I play, you know, playing fair and everything and I'm broke. Hell no. I can do my car payments right now without any problem. You understand? Because of the way I started to program my mind about thinking about the better things in life and not in the moment. Because I said before, designer things are good. You can always sell them back. You can get a lot of money, of course, back, but you're not going to get exactly the amount that you paid for it. A few $100s less. That's what it is. And I don't have time to do those things anymore. I'm thinking about bigger and better things. And if I can help anybody through this video along the way, that's showing you that, listen, I was there. I'm not better than you. I'm not better than you. You understand what I'm saying? It's just that I try to bust my ass to be where I want to be, to bust my ass to pass my state board, and to bust my ass working, because it is very stressful being a nurse. But you gotta know what you want out of life. It can be done. You probably are watching this video right now and probably want to go into the nursing field or any other field. Do it because you love it too. Just don't do it because of the money. Because whatever, let's just say I can accomplish $20,000 in 8 months, and you probably can't do that. The fact is that you are still saving towards something. You understand? It's not the amount you work, it's the amount you save. Don't follow anybody. Just do what you gotta do, what's right into your conscience. And the rest will come. You understand what I'm saying? So I hope this was inspiring to somebody. This video is very long as hell, but I'm gonna put it out there because I just felt on my, you know, my spirit to just put this video out there, and I just hope this helps someone. And if there's any other question, if there's anything that you want to know, you understand what I'm saying, just let me know. If there's any other video that you want me to do, just let me know. Okay, hit your girl up. And I guess I'll talk to you guys later. Mwah. Bye guys.